Hello, everyone. So this is going to be a really brief video on what we would have discussed during our November 15th meeting, which you all know was canceled because of the inclement weather. Again, this is going to be a really brief video. So I sent everybody an email regarding our relocating or our new office location at 600 Reisterstown Road, Suite 402. That is right in the corner of Reisterstown and Slade Avenue, that high rise. So it's not too far from our office where we are now. And so we will be transitioning to that office. We will still need to use 17 Warren Road to do any PRP groups and to see any PRP clients or any substance abuse education groups as well, until we get the, clear or okay from the state that we can be at this new location. So again, the PRP groups, substance abuse groups will still be at the 17 Warren Road until we're able to fully transition to our new location. And you guys will definitely receive an email once that happens. The second thing is we have added a new program. So we've always had the substance abuse education program, but we are now approved. We are approved level 1, which is an outpatient, and we're also approved to be a 2.1. So that's intensive outpatient program. So if any of your clients, any of your PRP clients need any substance abuse interventions, we are now able and capable to, and doing that. Well, not say now, probably mid-December, we're going to start that program, but we are approved, but we're still getting that program together. So again, you guys will receive an email once that has been done. And it's just not for your PRP clients. If you guys have any clients that you know, any people that you know that might need substance abuse counseling, then we can provide that service. Again, we're only providing the individual counseling and the intensive group counseling with those programs. We are not going to be offering any methadone, and we're not offering any Suboxone. So if you have clients or anybody that you know that need the counseling, then we will be able to do that. The next thing is our documentation manual, documentation training. You all received that, I believe, last month or 2 months ago. Definitely seeing some improvements with the documentations. However, there's still some people that when I read the notes, I can tell who read and reviewed the manual and who did not. And so we're following the FIRP format. F stands for functional, I intervention, R response, and P is for plan. For the most part, most of our notes were missing the functional piece of it. So you guys have to indicate the client's mental health symptoms, their behaviors, their attitudes, something about their symptoms that is medically necessary to align them with that intervention that you're working on with the client. So I saw some notes that will talk about housing, but the notes were just basically case management work, and PRP is not just case management. So you have to connect it to their mental health disorder in some type of way. So if you're working on a housing, why are you still working on housing with this client connected with their mental health? Is it their depression that's interfering them, or is it hindrance to them being able to look for housing on their own? Just have to connect it to their mental health symptom and behavior in some type of manner to make it functional and to make it medically necessary. I did have a training a couple of months ago on this, and some of you guys came and some of you guys did not. So if you guys are finding that, with the no corrections, you're seeing that you still have a lot of no corrections, and even if I see that we're still having the same issues, you're going to have to come in to sit down one-on-one to go over the documentations and what seems to be the issue with following this format. It's the expectations that you guys are able to do this as a 1099 without having so many note corrections to be done. Also, with these no corrections, the notes period, your notes have to be done within 24 hours and the no corrections within 48. What I'm finding out is a lot of you guys and sharing that documentation as well to let us know that it's complete and that we can review the note. What I'm finding out is a lot of you guys are completing these notes at the end of the month, which is not fair to myself, and it's not fair to the rehab specialist that we're getting all these notes at the end of the month, and you guys still expect to get paid on time. Because what's going to happen, we get all these notes and only one person is reviewing it, then we're going to be behind. And so if we're behind on reviewing these notes, then you're going to be behind with receiving your paycheck as well. And so what I'm also seeing is a lot of you guys are waiting till the last minute to make the note corrections. So some of you guys are making the note corrections the day of or the day before, and that's not acceptable either. So we're going to, again, 24 hours is your notes, 48 hours is the note corrections. We're going to give you a due date where the note corrections are due, and they need to be done at that time. If we're seeing that there's a lot of notes that we're completing because failure of following these procedures, your paychecks are going to be late as well. Again, it's only one person reviewing all of these notes. We got about 50 clients about approximately 50 clients in our program, and reading all these notes at the end of the month, we're not going to be able to do it and be done on time. So please follow the procedures that we have here, so everything could be done effectively and efficiently, and so you guys can get paid on time. Overall, again, some of you guys are missing the AM and PM on your notes. Please just review your notes before you submit them. And also your job title is missing on the bottom. So you guys are PRP coordinators. Please indicate that in the bottom of your notes. If you guys have any questions about how we would like the documentations, please do not hesitate to access any questions or schedule an appointment with me so we can review how this needs to be done. The next is the patient satisfaction surveys and employee surveys. So it is the end of the month and we need to do these surveys. So don't be surprised if your client tells you, oh, the office called and was asking about you and your work ethics and abilities and things like that. It's protocol, it's our procedure. We need to get this done. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up that either they will be receiving a phone call or it'll be completed during the holiday party. Same goes with the employee surveys. Either you will receive an email to complete the surveys, or you guys can do it when you pick up your checks or during the holiday party. I haven't decided yet. But also be honest and open about the surveys. If it's done online or whether it's the paper surveys, it could be anonymous if you like, but we need your honest opinion about what's been going on because there's always room for improvement with the agency. The next is about the 1099 status. I believe we had a meeting around March or May, I can't remember, where I informed everyone that we would be transitioning to part-time and full-time workers. With additional consultations, we will be keeping the 1099 1099 independent contractor status. So if you are currently a 1099 worker, then you can remain a 1099 worker. You do not have to transition as a part-time or a full-time employee. Again, if you are currently a 1099 worker, you can remain a 1099 staff. If you have any questions about that, please direct those questions to me. The next thing is our 8-hour annual training. You guys should have received these topics from your previous supervisor, Jaquette, or if you came to the meeting last quarter, I did hand these out. So COMA regulations state that you need at least 8 trainings annually. And so we have these topic areas where we need you guys to have these trainings. Now, if it says mandatory training, that means it's mandatory that we need you to have this training. And these are just suggestions on where you can get it done. So the mandatory training is the cultural diversity, the child abuse training, the sexual abuse training, and the suicide prevention training. Those are annually mandatory trainings. If you completed these trainings elsewhere, so most of you guys have full-time jobs or other part-time jobs, if you guys already completed those trainings, all we would need is your certificate. That also goes with these additional training areas. So if you've completed a training area in a child development, substance abuse disorder, motivational training, ethical trainings. If you guys have already completed those trainings and already have certificates, we would gladly accept those trainings. So you won't have to do these suggestion trainings here at all. So again, go through your documentations where you may have already completed your trainings and make a copy and bring it in the next time. But the 8 hours of training is due by December the 31st. Again, there are mandatory trainings. If you already completed those trainings elsewhere, please just give the certificate. If you see that the mandatory training that you do not have that completed elsewhere, then again, these are just some suggestions where you can get those trainings completed. Again, these are just suggestions. If you guys have another place you can get them done, please do so. All I need is your certificate saying that it has been completed. Again, if there's any questions about this, let me know. All right. Next is our holiday party. We would like to, anybody who can help in any type of way with the planning of our party, if you guys would like to contribute in making any food or bringing any foods or paper, utensils, anything like that, we would gladly accept that as well. This is a agency party, but we would need some assistance with this from you guys if you would like. So we don't know the day and time, so you guys will definitely get an email concerning that. So it's for everyone. It's for your family members, for yourself, for clients. Again, we will let you guys know in advance of when the holiday party is. If your clients are going to need transportation to this, we would need to know way ahead of time. But you guys will definitely receive an email on RSVP and the dates that we would need to know when you guys need transportation so we can set that up, because I don't want transportation to be the reason why our clients are not coming to a party. And most likely our holiday party will be at our new office. But again, you guys will be receiving an email regarding that soon. The next thing is evaluations. Some of you guys are in need of the end of the year evaluations. Now, some PRP workers have already completed this evaluation during the year 2018. If you've ever sat down with me to complete your evaluation, then you do not need to complete this evaluation again. If you've never sat down with me or sat down with Jaquette to complete your staff evaluations, then you would need to schedule a time to do so with me. Again, this is going to be your responsibility to call and schedule an appointment to complete these evaluations before December 31st. How you're going to be rated on these evaluations is two ways, based on my interactions with you guys in the past 2 months, which has mainly, for the most, you guys have been with the documentations. If I've, emailed or called you and you got, response times and things like that. But the bulk of it will also be coming from your supervision with Jaquette. She did write out supervision notes. So I'll be getting a lot of that information from those documentations. And again, from my interactions with you guys, with however much information I have with those type of those interactions. Again, if you don't know if you need to get your evaluations, please just email me and ask me whether you need to, and I can just check your records, because I don't remember who did it or not. Or if you know for a fact that you have not completed your evaluations for this year, then please schedule a time, call the office to schedule a time to complete this before the end of the year. Last but not least is our EMR system. We are still working on our EMR system. We should have some type of prototype most likely mid-December. So there's going to be a couple of phases to our EMR system. The first phase is just to have a software where we can write our notes. So that's our progress notes, our monthly summary, and our treatment plans. There's going to be additional phases where we can add additional components to it. But for right now, we're just focused on having a software to complete our documentations. Later on, we might want to add a client portal where, the clients are signing off on the intake documentation. So not so much paperwork is leaving the office. Might also want to add the signature sheets on it as well. So those are just thoughts and things that are going to occur later. But you guys will also, and I'm going to need your feedback from this as well. So once we are up and running with this, I'm going to ask some of you guys to test it out to see if it's effective, efficient, because that's what we're looking for. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I discussed today, please direct them to me. Again, with this documentations, please, if you have not reviewed the manual, it's going to be very important for you to do so, because you're not going to receive a lot of feedback like you usually have gotten it from me if there's any corrections. It's simply going to say that you guys are missing one of these letters. Like, so if you're missing the F, we're going to say that you missed the functional for this note. Please refer back to your documentations training. We may give a little bit of comments, but it's not going to be as it was before. We have more clients coming in. We don't have the time to review every single documentations and comment on every single note that needs corrections. Some of you guys have been here for a while, so you guys know what we are expecting. And you guys are 1099, so we have that expectation that you guys will know how to complete these notes with minimal corrections. And the documentation manual outlines exactly how we want the notes. It gives a lot of samples and examples that you guys can follow. But again, if you need to sit down one-on-one to review, I have no problem doing that, so please contact me. I know I went pretty quickly. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Again, we're relocating substance abuse program. We have that. Documentation training, patient satisfaction surveys are coming up. 1099 status. If you're a 1099 independent contractor, you can remain with that status. Your 8 hours of training is due December 31st. Holiday parties coming up, evaluations. If you don't know whether you've completed that already, please give me a call and I can let you know, or email me. And the EMR system should be a prototype of it, or the first phase should be done mid-December. Thank you guys very much and have a good night. Now, how do I end this thing? Oh. How do I end this thing? End meeting.